In order to set up tabs in a custom Unity editor window, first thing you're going to want to do is in a folder called editor, create a new C# script. I called mine tabs, open it up, delete everything inside the class. We're going to add a using at the top for Unity editor, and then change mono behavior to editor window. Going to show that window via public static void show window. Say tabs t equals tabs get window type of, and again tabs. I'm going to set a min size to new vector 2, 300 by 200, and then we'll set the max size as well, new vector 2, 300 by 200. And add a menu item at the top under window, and we'll just call it tabs so we can navigate to it. We'll save this, go back to Unity, go to window, tabs, and there's the window. Then create a new function, private void on GUI, and within that we're actually going to set up variables first. Public int tabs equals 3, so we'll have 3 different tabs, and then we're going to create a string or array of strings called tab options equals new string. We're going to enter step 1, step 2, and step 3 as the names for the 3 tabs. We're going to go back to on GUI. We're going to say tabs equals GUI layout dot toolbar, which is what you use to set up the tabs. And you say tabs, the integer, and then tab options. We can actually save that, go back to Unity, and see that we now have 3 different tabs. We can click on them, but they don't do anything yet. Let's go back to our code. I'm going to set up a switch statement using the tabs integer. Then we're going to set up our cases. Before we do that, we're actually going to set up the functions that we're going to call in these cases. So the first one will just be called first step. So first step, actually we need to set up case 0. So for the first case, for step 1, we'll call the function first step, and then break. Case 1, we're going to copy the function for first step and paste for the 2 remaining functions called second step and third step. And then set up case 1 as second step, break, and then case 2 will be our third step and another break. So now we'll go into the first step function. Go to GUI layout.label. Just call it this is the first step, just so we can note that whenever that's clicked on, or whenever the tab is clicked on. GUI layout.flexible space, not required, but just gonna shift everything down to the bottom after that label. We're gonna copy that, paste it into the other 2 functions, and then we actually need to change the text. So I'm gonna go back and change first to second and first to third for those functions. Go back to Unity, and now when you click on the different tabs, you'll see that the label changes. So now we can add a bit more. So let's say you want to create a button, so we'll say if GUI layout.button, and that button will actually take you to the next tab without having to click on the tab. So if that button is clicked, then you'll say tabs equals 1, which is just the value of tabs for the second tab. Because the first step is 0, second step is 1, and third step is 2. So we're going to copy that into the second step and so set tabs equals to 2. And then if we hit the third step, there is no next tab. So we're actually going to call this button complete. And then we can actually just set up a debug.log just to print out to the console that all 3 steps have been completed. So that way you know when you actually press that button that something happens. We're going to save that. Go back to Unity. Now you can see I can still click through the tabs themselves, but if I click on the button next tab and next tab, it goes through the tabs. And if I press complete, it'll show the debug statement. One more thing we can do here is to demonstrate that your status will actually be saved between tabs. So if we create a toggle, let's call it bool tog equal, set it to false. And then we're going to go into the first step or the first tab. And we're going to add that toggle. So toggle equals editor GUI layout.toggle. We'll give it a label of just toggle. And then references toggle. And now if we go back over to Unity, we can see that there's a toggle. We click it to make it true. And even if we go through the other tabs, it's still saved. And that's it.